What's up, guys? This is a Stardust Assault Mode deck. It is March 2011 ban list ready. I promise you, if you play this deck, you will not be disappointed. Feel free to change anything about it if you don't like the way it runs. I'm not really looking for critique because I feel like in my local area and with my friends, this is basically as good as I can get it. But the recipe is going to be posted in the description, so feel free to tweak it as you will. First off, we have 3 Flamevell Firedog. He is a 19 beater, and he is essential to the Flamevell engine because when he kills a monster, you bring out another Flamevell from your deck, which is great. You kill off a monster with this. It's pretty easy because he's got 19 attack. Then you bring out your 4-star tuner, swing for 14 with that guy if it's open. If not, main phase 2, sink into Stardust. Then we have the tuner, the Flamevell Magician. He's only 14 attack, but he's not going to be staying on the field for long. It's really 4-star tuner, 4-star everything in this deck, so it's going to go into 8 really easy. Then we have 3 Assault Beast. You pitch him to get the Assault Mode Activate Trap from your deck, or you can play him and run over some monsters with his attack. He's got 19 attack, so he's a great beater. Also, he's 4 stars, so you can sink into Stardust with it. Then we have 2 Stardust Assault Mode. 3 it's really heavy. It's too much. 2 is perfect. You will get 2 out easy. You could probably even get 3 out, but it's just unnecessary. It'll clog up some space for speed that you can do. But in this deck, 2 is perfect. All you need is 2, and pretty much you can stop anything. Even if they bait you into blowing up one of their things with the first one, you have the second one as a backup. Play it smart, and you don't have to worry about that. We have 1 Summoner Monk. Of course, you just pitch a spell card, get out a 4-star tuner, and go at it for, I guess it's Stardust, Colossal, Red Dragon, any of those good 4 stars. Also, he's really good for setting up just your field. If you already have your Stardust Assault out, bring out one of your 19 beaters and just go to town. You have Breaker the Magical Warrior. This deck, it kind of needs to get rid of the back road because those pesky little, if you don't have Stardust out or if you don't have Assault Mode out, then their back row is going to really get to you. So with Heavy being gone, this is your go-to guy. You bring him out, he's 19 beater in the beginning until you get rid of that spell counter, and then you blow something up. It's great, and he's in 4 stars, sinking to Stardust. 3 Mist Valley Soldier. The recipe might change in a little bit because I'm going to loan 2 of these, or, well, they're on loan from my friend and giving 2 back for his Mist Valley deck, but it's a perfect card. He's got 17 attack, so he's a decent attacker. Also, if they happen to summon something that's stronger than 3k, this is great to run it over, because if they get something that's bigger than Assault Mode, this deck, is in a little bit of trouble. But usually this is a control deck. You want to stop that early, so you can bounce their tuners, you can bounce their tributes, or you can bounce the big monster itself. 1 Rose Warrior of Revenge. She's only got 16 attack, but she does an extra 300 when she gets through direct, which usually isn't a problem in this deck. I'm only running 1 just because Mist Valley Soldier it's a little bit better. Whenever I give those 2 soldiers back, I'm probably going to kick this up. She's in here because I need good 4-star tuners. Finally, I'm teching 1 Victoria. Really, she's a great card. She's not used too much. She's got the 18 attack, so she's pretty strong, but really what comes into play is her effect. Once per turn, you can select 1 dragon monster in your opponent's graveyard and special summon it to your side of the field. And so many people run Stardust or Red Dragon. Just bring that guy out, beat them with it, tribute it for Stardust Assault Mode, all kinds of good stuff. And it's once per turn, so you can use it every turn. Onto the magics, we have 3 Instant Fusion. This deck has a lot of tuners in it. It's pretty tuner heavy. and that's a good thing because you want to use these instant fusions just so you have deck space for more monsters, more tuners, and also the instant fusion. You just bring out a level 4 sync or fusion monster and sync into 8, go into Stardust with it, or even I'm taking in one level 3 if I need to go in for a Black Rose, or for GK if I can, so I can go into a Fairy Dragon, that kind of stuff. It's great. It's only 1,000 life points, which is really, it's not a big deal if you're playing the deck right. Then you got 3 rekindling. It's just so you can use and abuse that Flameville engine over and over again. All you need is just one firedog. You kill a monster with it. You get your magician out, swing the magician at him, sync for Stardust, rekindling, sync for another Stardust. It's so simple, and it's kind of messed up. It'll piss them off, I promise. 2 Pot of Avarice. I've been considering running 3, but so far 2 has been perfect. It's just you're gonna fly through the deck so fast that you're gonna be syncing. You're gonna have Stardust in the grave. You're gonna have your fusions in the grave. You're gonna have your tuners in the grave. You get a card advantage by drawing 2, and you also get those cards back in your deck to use again. Then you have 2 enemy controller. This is pretty much it's the same thing that, like, if you have anything over 3k that assault mode can't run over, throw that thing in defense mode, or tribute something, steal it for a turn. Basic enemy controller use, but it's very vital in this deck just because it's so easy to get out monsters that are 3k and higher, and it'll really just put Stardust assault mode on edge. 2 MST, once again, heavy's gone. Got to get rid of those things like Royal Oppression and Royal Decree, Solemn. If you can hit a Solemn early, perfect, because being that spell speed 3, you can Solemn a assault mode. Other than that, there's not really much defense against him. 1 Monster Reborn. Just like with the rekindling, bring back out some flame bells, or bring out assault mode, or not assault mode, but bring out Stardust and go into another assault mode with it. Onto the traps, you have 3 assault mode activate. Of course, I mean, I only have 2 assault mode, but you need 3 because you're not going to run into all 3 very easily unless you're pitching your assault beast for no reason. Yeah, it's pretty self-explanatory. You activate this, sack a Stardust, and bring out assault mode from your deck. 3 good goblin housekeeping. I used to run Assault Telly, and I'm still kind of an Assault Telly fan just because it's quicker, but this one is definitely more versatile because you can return any card back to the deck. You don't have to shuffle either, so you won't shuffle back into the same card. You just place the card back on the bottom of the deck and draw 1. If you have 1 in the grave, you draw 2. You got 2 in the grave, you draw 3. So you got more of a card advantage when you get up to the 3rd one than Assault Telly does. Plus, you can pitch anything other than Stardust Assault mode if it's just dead in your hand. And then we got 1 Skill Drain. It's really abusive in this deck because it's already a control deck. You're stopping cards and killing cards with assault mode, but you hit Skill Drain, their good effects don't even happen anymore. And assault mode and Stardust both activate from the grave, so nothing is hurt by this deck other than maybe a firedog. But unless you're some kind of just noob, you don't activate this if you have a firedog on the field. You abuse firedog. Save this for when you're in a crunch. Finally, a Call of the Haunted. Right now, this is just in place for a 2nd skill drain that's on the way. With the Monster Reborn and the Rekindling, I really don't need too much reanimation going on, but it's not a bad card, so you can bring this out. Sack the Stardust you bring out with this for assault mode activate. This just becomes dead, so it's useful, but you're better off with a 2nd skill drain if you have it. Extra deck, I have 1 Flame Ghost. It's just a 3-star, so I have a Magician or a Soldier on the field or something, and just instant fusion this guy out. You go straight into 7 for Ancient Fairy, for of course Ancient Fairy, Black Rose, any of those good guys. 3 Marine Dolphin. Honestly, these fusions, it doesn't matter which one you have. Some people like some better than others. I was on the fence with this and Twinkle Moss just because, you know, it's just throwbacks back to the GX days, and this one, his effect is just, you can use his effect and basically then go sync. You don't have to use the effect, whatever. I like his effect. You got one black rose. I know they're not limited anymore, but honestly, I feel like if you have to use more than one black rose a duel, then you're doing something wrong. Plus, you know, with a pot of avarice, bounce it back if I have to. But really, you only should have to reset the field once or less. One xsaber urbellum. This is mostly just for kind of deck control, just so they can't draw anything more. I don't really like it because it's 7 stars, but it's 22. But it's good because, you know, swing with a big monster, get rid of their monsters, hit them direct with this, put a card back on their deck. They're pretty much stuck in the same state, so it works. Right now, 2 Stardust. You want to run 3. The deck really calls for 3. I only have 2. Looking at getting another one soon, but 2 will work because you can use and abuse 1 over and over again. Just reanimate it, send it again for assault mode, all kinds of stuff. But you want 3. 1 red dragon archfiend, just for the power. It's easy to get out, and you know, if they're playing really defensively, or they got marshmallows or something on the field, hit them with this, and if they're in attack mode, they're taking damage. If they're in defense mode, they're gone anyway. Finally, colossal fighter. It's kind of the same thing as red dragon. It's a big beater. Also, if they have a big monster that runs over everything else, he's easy to sink into because he's 8, and this deck will fly those 8s out like nothing. And you throw them in defense mode, they keep killing it. You just keep bringing it back until you can figure something out, or until you just decide there's nowhere else you can go and you give the duel up. You know, with honor. It's honorable. It's cool. But basically, yeah, you just want to use and abuse him. Armory arm. You know, armory arm's pretty much impossible to run in this deck because they're all 4 stars. So I can't really do the OTK. But, like I said, tweak it. If you want, you can run off the OTK. But it's an assault mode deck, so I'm not worried about the OTK. Leave comments, suggestions, you know, that kind of thing. I'll read them. I'll appreciate them. I may or may not use them, but, you know, that's just how it rolls.